The Galactic nursery station orbited peacefully above Theta Prime, a neutral zone where dozens of species sent their young for early socialization and education. Ambassador Lena Arkin had arrived 3 months ago as humanity's first cultural liaison to the program, tasked with introducing human customs to the diverse collection of alien children in her care. She hadn't expected sewing to become an intergalactic incident. It started innocently enough. The nursery's environmental systems maintained optimal temperatures for each species. But Lena noticed the Valkyrie cubs, small, furry creatures with 6 limbs and expressive tufted ears, shivering during their rest cycles. Their homeworld was warmer, and despite the station's best efforts, the cubs huddled together for warmth each night. Lena couldn't bear it. Back on Earth, her grandmother had taught her to sew, a dying art in an age of molecular fabricators. She'd brought her supplies more for nostalgia than necessity, but watching little Kiru, the smallest of the cubs, curl into a tight ball with his ears flat against his head, something in her human heart demanded action. She worked through the night in her quarters, her fingers moving with practiced precision. Soft flannel fabric, printed with tiny stars and moons, she'd brought it from Earth as a comfort item. Now it would serve a greater purpose. She measured by memory, estimating the cubs' sizes, creating simple one-piece garments with openings for their 6 limbs and tails. When she presented the pajamas the next morning, the station's Valkyrie supervisor, Elder Thasik, examined them with 3 of his 4 eyes, the 4th swiveling to regard Lena with something between confusion and concern. "What purpose do these coverings serve?" he rumbled in his deep, resonant voice. "They're called pajamas," Lena explained, holding up the smallest pair. "Humans wear them for sleep. They provide warmth and comfort." I noticed the cubs seemed cold. Thasik's ear tufts twitched. "The environmental systems are calibrated precisely. The cubs are experiencing no harm." Thasik's ear tufts twitch. "Thasik's. The cubs are experiencing no harm." "Maybe not harm," Lena said carefully, "but discomfort. There's a difference between surviving and thriving." The elder considered this. His species valued endurance and adaptation. Cubs were expected to adjust to varying conditions as preparation for their nomadic adult lives. But he'd also noticed the humans' remarkable ability to nurture the young of other species. The children gravitated to her, even those whose parents had warned them that humans were strange, soft creatures who'd only recently stumbled into galactic society. "Very well," he conceded. "The cubs may try your pajamas." Lena hadn't anticipated the reaction. When she helped Kiru into the smallest pair, his eyes went wide, all 4 of them. He ran his paws over the soft fabric, chittering with delight. Within minutes, every cub was demanding their own pair, creating a chaotic scene of excited youngsters. But it was what happened at rest time that changed everything. For the first time since arriving at the station, the cubs didn't huddle in their traditional sleep pile. They spread out, each in their own sleeping pod. But they didn't shiver. They didn't curl into tight defensive balls. They sprawled comfortably, their breathing deep and peaceful. Kiru, wearing his star-patterned pajamas, slept for 10 straight hours, unprecedented for a Valkyrie cub. When he woke, he refused to take them off. "Kiru, it's time for morning exercises," Elder Thasik said gently. "You must remove the human garments." The cub's response was a flat, determined no. By the 3rd day, it had become a crisis. All 12 cubs refused to wear their traditional juvenile wraps. They wanted only their pajamas, had, in fact, named them magic comfort cloths in their chittering language. They wore them to lessons, to meals, to play sessions. When Lena tried to explain they needed washing, Kiru led a small rebellion that involved all the cubs locking themselves in the sleep chamber. "This is most irregular," Elder Thasik told Lena in the observation room. Watching the cubs through the transparent barrier, they sat in a circle, holding paws, wearing their pajamas like tiny furry activists. "I'm so sorry," Lena said, genuinely distressed. "I was just trying to help them sleep better." "You succeeded too well." But Thasik's ear tufts weren't flat with anger. They were tilted forward with curiosity. "I've reviewed the biometric data. Their stress hormones have decreased by 40%. Sleep quality has improved by 35%. Cognitive function test scores have risen across all subjects. And they are happy. He turned all four eyes on Lena. Explain to me how simple fabric achieves what our advanced environmental systems could not. Lena thought about it. Really thought about it. It's not just the warmth, she said slowly. It's the comfort of something soft against your skin when you're far from home. It's the feeling of being cared for. My grandmother made me pajamas when I was little, and even when I was scared or lonely. Putting them on made me feel safe. Like someone who loved me was wrapping me in a hug. A hug, Thasek tested the human word. This is a physical expression of affection? Yes, humans do it a lot. We need physical comfort. I think maybe all children do. Regardless of species. We just express it differently. The elder was quiet for a long moment. Then he made a decision that would ripple across the Galactic nursery program. Make more, he said. For all the cubs. Every species. What Lena didn't expect was how quickly word would spread. Within a week, parents arriving to visit their children found them wearing human-made pajamas. The Velkari cubs refused to greet their families until they'd shown off their magic comfort cloths. Kiru gave a 10-minute presentation on why pajamas were the greatest invention in galactic history. Other species wanted them. The crystalline Metharians requested pajamas that wouldn't interfere with their photosynthetic processes. The aquatic Fendari needed waterproof versions. The insectoid Chittic wanted tiny matching sets for all 16 of their limbs. Lena found herself running an intergalactic pajama production line, teaching other staff members to sew, adapting patterns for wildly different anatomies. The molecular fabricators could produce the garments faster, but the children insisted they wanted real human-made ones, sewn with care. 6 months later, when the Galactic Council reviewed the nursery program's annual report, they found an unusual addendum. Every participating species reported the same phenomena. Cubs slept better, learned faster, and showed increased emotional stability. The common factor was listed as Human Comfort Protocol. Pajama Initiative. For 7. Ambassador Lena Arkin became the first human to receive the Galactic Childcare Innovation Award. At the ceremony, she wore a formal diplomatic gown, but Kiru, who attended as representative of all the cubs, wore his original star and moon pajamas, now carefully patched and worn soft from constant use. When asked why he still wore the same pair when newer, fancier versions were available, Kiru's response became famous across the galaxy. These were made by Lena's hands. They remember her kindness. That's what makes them magic. In the audience, Elder Thasek's ear tufts pointed straight up the Velkari expression of profound respect. Humans, he decided, might be newcomers to the galactic community. They might lack advanced technology or centuries of spacefaring experience, but they understood something fundamental that many older species had forgotten. Sometimes the simplest comfort, given with love, was the most powerful force in the universe. And once you experienced that comfort, you never wanted to let it go.